Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching Gravitas Plus. I am Molly Gambhir. Earlier this month, something unprecedented happened. Australia became the first country in the world to take a major step. It became the first country to ban social media for children under 16, the world's first teen social media ban, triggering mixed reactions, big questions, and chief among them, should other countries follow suit? Can the move result in a bigger push at the global level to tighten the regulation of online safety of young users? Let's just tell you a little bit more about the law. With under 16s in Australia banned from using major social media services, the aim, as per the government, is to reduce the negative impact of social media's design features that encourage young people to spend more time on screens, while also serving up content that can harm their health and well-being. Children and parents will not be punished for infringing the ban. Instead, social media companies face fines for serious or repeated breaches. Basically, as per the government, firms must take reasonable steps to keep children off their platforms and should use multiple age assurance technologies. Here's some more context. A study it commissioned earlier in 2025 revealed extremely concerning figures. It found that 96% of children between the ages of 10 and 15 used social media, and that 7 out of 10 of them had been exposed to harmful content. This included misogynistic and violent material, as well as content promoting eating disorders and suicide. 1 in 7 also reported experiencing grooming-type behavior from adults or older children. And more than half said they had been victims of cyberbullying. The big message from Australia is absolutely clear. The Australian Prime Minister, in fact, urged children to start a new sport, new instrument, or read that book that has been sitting there for some time on the shelf, calling it a proud day for families. According to the leader, the law is proof that policymakers can curb online harms that have outpaced traditional safeguards, calling it one of the biggest social and cultural changes that the nation has faced. It is a huge change indeed, with far-reaching ramifications, and a move that has been watched very closely by countries the world over. The Australian legislation has drawn criticism from some tech companies, but also received support from many parents. Let's also tell you about a crucial development in India. The Madurai bench of the Madras High Court observed that the centre could consider framing a legislation to regulate the use of internet by children similar to the law in Australia. The court said until such a legislation is in place, the State and National Commission for Protection of Child Rights could draft an action plan to create awareness among children on child rights and safe use of the internet. The framework suggested by the court aims at restricting children below 16 years from having social media accounts, amid apprehensions over the minors' exposure to harmful online content. Let's just take a step back here. The thing is, the internet today is a platform with information of all kinds. India does not impose a blanket ban on under 16s, but regulates their usage to some extent through the Information Technology Act 2000 and the Information Technology Rules 2021. The IT Act classifies social media platforms as intermediaries and provides the legal framework for intermediary liability and enforcement, while IT rules impose due diligence obligations on intermediaries, require large platforms to appoint local officers, and mandates regular compliance reports. Ultimately, what kind of information is accessed and by whom and how it is used carries a lot of weight. So naturally, these conversations are an urgent need at a time when the world of technology is evolving fast. So among the key questions is this one: should social media platforms be held liable for the mental health impact on children? On the flip side, could increased regulation lead to over-censoring, infringing on free speech and the online experiences of older teens and adults, for example? Also, would strict regulations stifle innovation in educational and creative tools designed for children? What about the online safety of children? Given the kind of diverse content out there that's just a click away and easily available on the internet, is it ethical for tech companies to prioritize engagement metrics over child safety, potentially exposing children to harmful content or even predators for that matter? Let's just go back to the Australian law for now, which carries global implications, with the rollout capping a year of debate over whether any country could practically stop children from using platforms embedded in daily life. And starting a live test in a way for governments, perhaps frustrated that social media firms have been slow to implement harm reduction measures in some cases. In fact, the Australian government proposed the landmark law citing research showing harm to mental health from the overuse of social media among young teens, including misinformation, bullying, and harmful depiction of body image. And on the global scale, several countries from Denmark to New Zealand to Malaysia have signaled they may study or even emulate Australia's model. One way to look at it is social media is addictive and comes with advantages, also disadvantages. So where should the line be drawn? For social media businesses, the implementation of the Australian law marks a crucial point. It could also be looked at as a whole new era of structural stagnation. Platforms reportedly say they earn little from advertising to under 16s, but warn the ban disrupts a pipeline of future users. The question is parental oversight and education a more effective approach than government regulations in protecting children online? Also, do tech companies have sufficient incentives to self-regulate, making strict laws unnecessary perhaps? Also, can regulations create unintended consequences, like driving harmful activity to unregulated platforms? These questions linger on amid the rising concern, given how technology and the internet sphere increasingly become a part of our daily lives.